Daisy Alazy and Isis Thorpe with her 5 points tonight. Daisy went over the 1,000-point mark to join Isis, who reached that earlier this year. Coach, if you can open with a statement, and then we'll turn it over to student-athlete questions.
Great, thank you. Wow, I think it was just another incredible game. It's what's so exciting about playing in the A10 is that you get to compete against some of the best teams in the country. I definitely have a ton of respect for Coach Crowley and his staff and the way St. Bonaventure plays. We know defensively they truly test us. I said it yesterday, they run the best motion in the league, one of the best in the country, and they can really score. And we just thought today that our depth was really going to be a factor, and that we were going to try to push the tempo. And one player in, the next one goes, and we kept that intensity on the defensive side for 40 minutes. Probably would have liked a few more free throws at the end, but these guys promised me that will come tomorrow. Again, I just thought it was a great game, and we're excited to play another day.
Questions for student-athletes first.
You had 3 fouls, and everybody was a little worried on the sidelines because we were like, she's still in, and then that clutch right at the buzzer. Were you expecting that to go in, or was that just total Hail Mary?
When I threw it up there, I felt like it was good. I did. I was not aware of the shot clock, so when I happened to look at it, it was like 2 seconds, so I just kind of just faded and just threw it up. But, that gave us a lot of momentum going into the second half, so that was really a big energy boost for me as well because 3 fouls and in and out it's not hard. It's hard when you're not getting to the flow of the game. So that was kind of like a energy boost right there. So
to either of you, how exciting it is to get to the semifinals, but also as such a team performance. Coach talked about wanting to use depth today, and you guys used it to the best of your ability.
You want to start?
To get to the semifinals, it's a great feeling because personally in all my 4 years, we haven't gotten this far. So it's a great feeling, and I'm so happy that my squad and I are able to do this, honestly. And team depth, man, when we play as a team, like I said yesterday, I feel like there's nothing that we can't do. And the fact that everyone buys into what we have to do and we played, Coach said it today, 1 step, 1 rebound, 1 attack at a time, and we took everything step by step by step. That way we had something to keep ourselves composed each time.
Yeah, definitely. It was more so of we have any of our losses, it was kind of like we didn't stick to our game plan. We didn't play as a team. We didn't do, stick to our principles and stuff like that. So when we faced some adversity, third quarter, we was up by like 3, that was like a test for us to see if we was going to still stick in together or we were going to start being individuals and just doing all types of crazy things. So the semifinals was just, it feels great because we know if we could stay with each other that we can go as far as we want.
Any other questions for student-athletes? All right. Thanks, girls. You can head back to the locker room.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I forgot. Thanks.
Questions for Coach?
Coach, speaking of depth, just speak to Ashley's play today. Obviously the points, but the rebound. She was extremely aggressive on the defensive end, getting boards for you guys.
Yeah, Ashley does an incredible job for us. She plays on both sides of the floor. She's really athletic. We really rely on her to usually guard the other team's best player. Between her and Key, they can really, just dictate the tempo. And then, we're really big on rebounds because it initiates our offense. And so when she gets it, she can push it, and that tempo seems to go. So, yeah, Ashley, it's exciting for her to be in her hometown, playing in front of, all of her friends and her family, and exciting to see her have a game like that today.
Coach, we're certainly playing our best ball at the right time. Was there a moment over the last couple of weeks where you know that things were starting to click and this team could go on a little run here?
Wow, a moment. I feel like when you play basketball and it's just such a long season, every game is a grind. And, I'm a big believer. We give them a bunch of days off and just try to keep our legs and really take care of each other. did some fun things too. Took practice off. We watched the movie Creed. We're really big about the fighter analogy, you know, we just tried to make sure that they were feeling good. And you want to be playing your best basketball in March, and probably some of those losses that we took in January were good for us. There weren't really a lot of fun going through it, but it really tested us, and I think as a group they really stay together, and that's exciting. It's a special group. I really enjoy coaching them. Sorry? Yeah, less practice, less listening to me, just go play. You know, they do. I think, you know, lots of coaches say this time of the year you want your seniors to run your team, and I would say that's our seniors and also Key Robinson. You know, we go as she goes. She's our emotional leader. She talks, she gets deflections, and sometimes, you know, we want to make sure that we're all on the same page, and she does an excellent job with it. But again, it's team defense, team offense for us, and you're in a tournament. You just want to keep playing the next day, and really looking forward to the semifinals.
How much they did not shoot the ball well at all in the game, or particularly in the first half. How much you attribute that to your defense, and then some days you just don't shoot the ball well?
Yeah, gosh, that's a good question. You know, I think the toughest game in any tournament is that first one. And, you know, we had the win yesterday under our belt and got us a little energy. And our defense has been like that all year. You know, we have multiple games where we've held teams under 50. A couple, we held them under 40. And it's our calling card. You know, we really take pride in it, and we do it every day and really emphasize it. And I think I'm lucky that our players have bought in that defense wins championships. Us and the Broncos, that's our goal, you know, and they've been awesome with it. They enjoy it.
Coach, offensively, what was the difference between your offense in the first half and the second half? Because first half, your team turned their ball over multiple times, and then second half, it seemed like you were just slowing it down and just letting the game come to you.
You know, for us, the one thing is kind of that switch. We are playing at such an intense level on the defensive end. You're as highly motivated as you can be, highly energetic, and then when you get over half court, you almost got to take a breath. And we want to get the ball out and score in transition. I think it was a little bit of the excitement of everything, and we just started throwing the ball a little bit all over the place, and we needed to settle us down. And I thought they made that adjustment at halftime, and that's what you want your team to do is, you know, we were tested. They got it to 3. And, you know, we had a chance to fold, or, you know, were we going to come back and battle? And, you know, again, I'm so proud of their effort today. They came back and battled it even when it got tight.
What does it take to beat a team like St. Bonaventure?
They're so good offensively. I mean, you know, they're scoring in the high 60s. You know, they have 4 players in double digits, and they're starting 5. And for us to be able to come out with this win, we had to use our depth. And we had to get that ball over half court as fast as we could and make them run and chase us all over on the offensive side, so that, you know, when they came back down and they were on offense and we were, you know, really working, it was tiring them out. And really, they're very well coached. They play hard, and we knew it was going to be a tough one today.
W on tomorrow. 3 games in 3 days for you guys, and G-Dub, they easily won earlier today. They'll be well rested for tomorrow, and also they'll have their best player, Jonquel Jones, back in the lineup, someone that you didn't face the first time around. With that being said, what's the game plan in your mind for tomorrow?
You know, GW has been, you know, they won the regular season last year, you know, then they won the tournament. You know, to get to the championship, you want to go through the best. I think Coach Sipsis does a phenomenal job with his program. They're very athletic. They like to get up and down. Our game with them was very exciting. I think everyone's going to want to come back out tomorrow. I think it'll be another great game, and we just got to make sure, you know, kind of what Daisy and Isis said, is that we've got to play team basketball, you know, both sides of the floor, and, you know, we're looking forward to it.
Any other questions for Coach? All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.